Hello, I'm doing a movie review, and the movie I want to review is Eden Lake. Now, this review was actually requested by one of my subscribers, a YouTube user named AdamGannon. I hope I'm saying your name right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he's been asking me to review this movie, so yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing Eden Lake. Now, Eden Lake is a British horror film which came out in 2008. I don't think it was ever released theatrically here in the States. At least I don't think it was, but I think it was only released on DVD here in the States. The film stars Reilly, who I know was in those Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., the newer ones. It also stars Michael Fassbender, who would go on to be in X-Men First Class and Prometheus. He played Magneto in X-Men First Class, and he played the android in Prometheus. And the film is about a couple who, of course, are Reilly and Michael Fassbender, and what happens is they go to this place called Eden Lake for this getaway, and what happens is they end up meeting this group of kids, and right off the bat, the couple start getting antagonized by these kids, and at first, these kids come off as being, just these, pain-in-the-ass kids, but as the movie goes on, you start to realize that these kids are pretty fucked up. But what happens is, the couple ends up getting their car stolen by these kids, and the kids drive it, deep out into the woods, and this couple have to go looking for it. Eventually, they find the kids have their keys, and Michael Fassbender's character tries to get the keys from, this kid, but, one thing leads to another, and eventually the kids have a dog, and their dog accidentally gets killed, and what happens is the kids, of course, blame the couple for the death of their dog, and the rest of the film from then on is this couple being pursued through the woods by these kids, and that's really all I want to say about the plot line. Now, of course, this story, a couple going out into the woods and being pursued by, a group of killers or something, it's a story that's been done before, but I thought this was a pretty good movie. There is kind of an interesting, I almost want to say, social commentary in the movie about, the way, about, child abuse, because you get the idea that these kids, the reason they're the way they are is because, there's probably, you do find out who their parents are, and you get the idea that there's probably some child abuse going on there, so there's some commentary on child abuse in it, and, but it's a very interesting movie. I mean, the plot line, yes, the plot line is a little cliched, but I do like how the plot line is done. Now, what's interesting, though, is these kids, really only one of them is really, I would consider to be, evil, because these kids are led by one kid, and you get the idea that the other kids really don't want to be doing this, but they're so intimidated by their leader that, they just do whatever the hell he says, and, it's a very interesting movie, and I do want to say that this movie has a very, very downbeat ending. The ending to this movie, dear God, is the ending depressing. When I first saw this movie, I was rooting for the main character, Reilly's character. I was rooting for her, and just when the ending happened, I was just oh. It was just a very depressing ending, and obviously I don't want to give away the ending, but I do want to forewarn people that this movie does not have a happy ending. But yeah, I would definitely recommend Eden Lake. I actually just recently did a video of my favorite horror films, which came out from 2000 to 2009, and this was one of the movies I talked about in that video. So yeah, that's my review on Eden Lake, and I just want to thank the YouTube user Adam Gannon, who requested that I review this movie. First of all, I probably wouldn't have even seen the movie if it wasn't for the fact that he requested it for me to review. So yeah, thank you for requesting it, because then I saw it, and I have to say I really liked it. But yeah, Eden Lake is a pretty good movie, and I would definitely recommend it, and bye.